Taming and befriending mobs in a video game gives us as a player a sense of friendship and comfort. Taming in video games usually seems to have different levels or challenges retaining to them, from giving a dog a bone in Minecraft to knocking a mob unconscious and feeding it raw meat to be tamed like an Ark. Hey everybody, what is going on? CanadianFlash here, guys, and today everybody, I'm going to be doing a follow-up on my latest video. We're going to be going and taking a look into taming and befriending mobs in Hytale. But before we get into this, I want to give a shout out to the sponsor of this video, PitMerch. PitMerch is a phone case company with extremely high quality glass phone cases. These cases are scratch, shock, and flame proof. I ordered a case from them online, and once it arrives, I'll be sure to give it a full review. It hasn't come in yet because of, the circumstances that are outside. If you want cool Formula 1, Marvel, or custom phone cases, go check them out and use code FLASH storewide to get 5% off. Links to PitMerch will be in the description. And if you guys are still watching, make sure to comment what mob you guys really want to tame in Hytale. I'll make sure to give you a heart. First one to comment, that will be the pinned comment of this video, so do that, guys. So let's get right into this video. Just in pretty much every survival game that has ever existed, you're probably going to have a hunger bar. And in those hunger bars, how do you replenish those hunger bars? And that is pretty much by eating food. But how do you get food? You get food pretty much by hunting every few days, and it really depends how far you go depending on how many mobs there are, and it probably takes up a lot of time. So there's one really logical thing that you guys can do, and that is bring the food to you. In Minecraft you can probably just lure cows and sheep in by holding wheat, put them into like a little fenced off pen, and then just breed them until like they're literally crowded like crazy, and there they go, there's a bunch of like steak for you to eat. So how do you start a farm? So what kind of animals can you start in Hytale? So far we've seen that cows, chickens, and sheep, and probably pigs, I wouldn't be surprised, are able to be domesticated and farmed. And by domesticated, it's pretty much you just like raise them in captivity pretty much. So you'll be domesticating these animals for food, leather, maybe their poop, use it as fertilizer, as seen in my last video. If you haven't checked that out, go check it out right now. It's about farming. You can also maybe farm them for wool and pretty much any other type of drops. We're not really too sure what they'll drop, but I'm pretty sure cows will drop like steak. Maybe you can even, if they have like horns on them, maybe you can cut off their horns, which I don't recommend doing. Don't do it. Poaching is bad, but don't do it. Obviously you can get the sheep from the wool. Maybe you can make some like wool clothing to maybe go into like zone 3, which is like the ice biome, if there's some sort of like coldness effect to it, or you get cold walking into there. Maybe you don't want to get hypothermia. And then you could probably get bacon from like pigs or something, or pork chops, who knows. So unlike Minecraft, however, you can't just stuff all these animals into one fenced area and feed them to breed, which I think is pretty dumb, because I think animals need to roam around. Maybe they'll escape in Hytale if they're unhappy. It's kind of, I think other games do that, not really too sure though. They'll probably require good bedding to sleep, and a lot of easy access food and water for them. Emotionally, they'll need to have other animals too, otherwise they'll probably get lonely, and maybe even give out less resources. So this was a quote from one of the blog posts back in the day, and it says, "The next step is livestock farming and animal domestication. Including an animal happiness system will react to a variety of factors, including feed, the availability of good bedding, and the company of similar creatures." It was just a quote. I'll put it on the screen so you guys can read that. This means that you'll have to gather many of the same mob to build an area that will cater towards their needs. Cows will likely need lots of land. Chickens probably won't need as much land, but they'll need a chicken coop. And each mob will have to have its own species in its own little, like, fenced off area. So I wouldn't be too surprised if maybe you can put cows and, like, horses, or cows and pigs, or cows and sheep in the same pen, because you see that on some type of farms in, like, real life. But I wouldn't, maybe you don't want to put, like, cows and chickens together, because maybe the cows will step on the chickens. Who knows? We haven't seen much on horses, but we know they're in the game, and I'd be willing to bet that we can ride horses just like how we have in Minecraft, and pretty much they'll be just cool mounts that we can have. So mounts seem like an important feature in Hytale. In the trailer we can see a ram mount used for quick movement in a fight. We see the ram mount in the trailer where the guy's like riding it in that like Yeti thing with a fire sword. It's really cool. We'll likely have to gain a mount's trust by feeding it and training it, a basic system that's in many games and adds a nice level of depth to mobility. while this utility is cool and all, what if I just want a pet? You know, just like a dog or a cat. Kind of, you know, Sven in PewDiePie's Minecraft series. Everybody knows that. Greatest dog of all time. So when we're thinking about this, what kind of role could they play? I thought that other cats could maybe, you know, scare away type of mobs. Like just how in Minecraft, ocelots, if you tame them, they like scare away creepers, so you have less creepers near your house. That's really cool. Maybe cats can scare away like chickens or maybe even snakes in Hytale, or maybe even foxes, not really too sure. Dogs could also be used to hunt foxes to get them away from you, like your rabbits and your chickens, and maybe even your sheep. I'm not sure how it would work with wolves. Maybe you have to get like a velociraptor. NOXY, put that in the game if you're watching this. Make those tameable, please. Thank you. It would be interesting to see how your farming can actually be living or living with the whole economy around it. It'll be really cool. We also know of some more uneasy alliances, something like giving a mouse in a dungeon cheese so that'll bring you to treasure. So we have a clip of the player giving a mouse cheese, and it's like it goes up to the mouse pretty slowly, which is pretty cool, and it doesn't really get scared because it's distracted by the cheese. So these type of interactions would form like a temporary bond between you and the creature and give you guys both a little bit of like something good. Like you give the mouse cheese, he gets food, and then he brings you to maybe a small treasure, which is really cool. While a Farron or a Quebec are far more intelligent than your average mob, you can still befriend them. We all know that there is some sort of like friendship system. I completely forget the name of it, but with living like with the Farrons and Quebecs, maybe you have to like give the Farrons some raw meat or something to build up their trust, and then, you know, or maybe you even like protect the Quebecs from the Torques to build up their trust. We're not really too sure how these things will work, but I feel like you can get some cool alliances with these guys in the day. So if you protect the Quebecs from like the Torque raid, they'll give you some sort of cool maybe Gaia loot or something. And if you protect the Farrons maybe from the Saraks, then maybe you have to like, or if you maybe help them take out a Ziggurat, then maybe they'll give you some sort of cool loot that you can only get from them. You can't find them in chests or anything like that. Your alliances with other factions in Hytale are going to really show off the potentials of the AI in Hytale and be a shining aspect of befriending creatures. So there's a few mobs that I really think Hytale should add the taming effect to. Obviously, you guys know that I think the Cave Raptor or Velociraptor should be a tameable mob, just because, have you seen Jurassic Park? Blue is like the coolest creature ever, and if you can have a friend that is a Velociraptor, like why not take the opportunity to do that? Plus, I just want to ride around Hytale with a pack of raptors absolutely wreaking havoc on everybody else. I think that'll be really cool. Also, I would like to tame the Cave Rex. That would be fun. And maybe even if we can tame like the Ice Dragon or other type of dragons. I'm not sure if there's going to be different elemental ones, but we do know that there is an Ice Dragon, and I think it would be really cool if we can tame it. That would be really awesome. I would love to do that, you know, flying around in a dragon. We know there's modding capabilities of you being able to turn into the dragon, so I think it would be cool if you can like tame him and fly him around. So guys, that's all I have about taming for you guys. I want to give a huge shout out to Dank Corpse and Rilo. Their channel is called Rye Corpse. They're the ones who helped make these scripts for the last 2 videos because I've been super busy and they just want to help out. So if you guys do know something that I don't know about taming or befriending, make sure to leave that in the comments down below. I'll make sure to read it and comment, because you know I respond to every comment. Definitely give you guys a heart and a thumbs up. So hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button and subscribe. And with all that being said, guys, have a great day.